But finding me proved no simple task. For having fallen afoul of Novigrad's underworld bosses, I'd disappeared. Yet Geralt soon discovered my whereabouts, a cell in the dungeon of the Temple Guard. With the help of our friends, Geralt managed to free me. Good thing too, for indeed I knew what had happened to Ciri. Sadly, she was no longer in Novigrad. Pursued by bandits, then cornered by the Temple Guard, she had disappeared in a flash of light and a gust of heat. Where to? This I did not know.
Hello everyone, this is Bobbin Threadbare, and welcome to the murder mystery episode of The Witcher 3.
She's late, of course. She knew how important this night was to—
Of course she did.
So it's true.
Master Dandelion!
What? Speak!
She's badly
Attacked?
Of course, let's go.
We all saw this part at the end of the last video, so we're just skipping through it.
Gods. Priscilla. Is she gonna live?
I'd say that's certain. Her condition's critical but stable. Beg your pardon, but you are a relative?
Relative? No, a friend. A very close friend.
Dandelion, correct? She uttered the name in her few moments of lucidity. I am Joachim von Gratz, head of surgery. Until recently, a lecturer at Oxenfurt Academy.
Enough of the courtesies. What are her injuries, besides her eye?
A concussion, cranial swelling, incision into her larynx, and scalding inside the throat and esophagus. Clearly someone forced her to imbibe a caustic fluid.
So this was no ordinary attack, no robbery.
Clearly not. It was the act of a demented mind, and not its first.
How can you know that?
I've seen wounds like this. They're not the kind one would forget, don't you agree? In fact, just this week a corpse turned up in the morgue with similar injuries. And no heart.
No heart? You mean that might have happened to Priscilla? Is someone looking into this?
This is Novigrad. Only the innocent burn here.
Geralt, I know I owe you 100 times over, but I need to ask you another favor. Find the bastard who did this. Find him. And kill him.
Don't need any convincing. Come on, Dandelion. Let's think about what we can do.
I would suggest examining the previous victim's corpse. It has yet to be autopsied. Doing so could very well provide some clues. No need to look astonished, gentlemen. As a surgeon, I know the importance of preventive medicine. Rather than wait for this maniac to strike again, I'd prefer to excise him. Not unlike a tumor.
Great analogy, but this tumor's not gonna sit there, wait to be excised. Appreciate the help, but I doubt you know what you're getting yourself into.
I know perfectly well, and I assure you I can take care of myself.
Easy assurance to make, harder to back up, especially if you've spent your whole life wielding a scalpel, not a sword.
Look at this scar. Don't be shy. Any idea what leaves such a mark?
A flail. Morning Star, maybe.
What do you think? A blow sustained at the operating table? No? Let me repeat. I know what I'm doing, and I wish to help.
Think they'll let me into the morgue?
By the main entrance, certainly not. But you can also get inside through the sewers.
The sewers. Travel them often, Doctor?
As often as required for, the pursuit of preventive medicine.
Alternative treatments. Aggressive ones, I'm guessing. Interesting.
We can discuss this en route. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm. Ready and intrigued. I'll get whoever did this, Dandelion. Even if it's Hierarch Hemmelfart himself.
Thanks.
Well, that's a doctor with an interesting past.
You lead.
So, preventive medicine you practice in the sewers. What's that about?
Think. Sewing up young victims. Hear that?
Been hearing it for a while. Draw your weapon.
Sorry I interrupted him. but I think that is the trap door behind the one... behind the one tavern in the central square. Also, I have no idea what was going on there. I put my sword away, and it did not come back out to fight this water hag. On the plus side, I did get to punch her in the face. But yeah, we're finally using that asset that's never been used before. Probably never since. Never again.
Lost it. I kill one, another takes its place.
I know how you feel, believe me. Where to now? Up?
Yes, it's not far now.
Priscilla, how's it look? Give it to me straight, no sugarcoating.
Her wounds will heal, but it's her voice that concerns me. Surely you understand what a terrible blow that would be to a Troberet. Enough to strip her of the will to live.
Any remedy for that?
I fear only your friend Dandelion can be of help on that count.
Didn't want him to get interrupted again. But yeah, at least with the Drowner issues, there's always job security for Witchers.
Take the ladder.
And that just goes right into a new room.
This is the place. Come, the quicker we take care of this, the better.
Why? Got somewhere to be?
Someone might disturb us. The coroner, for example. Or Reverend Nathaniel Pastodi. Very well. We seek the corpse of a dwarven woodcarver.
Kavir and Kovis are two little, basically city-states on the northern coast of the sea, further north than everywhere else. That's why they're not really factors in this great northern war that we're in. Just sort of neutral entities that are staying out of it. At least for now. Man, they got a lot of containers in here. Not a lot of good stuff in those containers, but still.
Human. Wrong body type. Let's keep looking. Looks like necrophage has got to this one.
Oh, there's more rooms, I see. So did they just reuse a part of the sewer system that was currently vacant? Is that what they're doing with this? I mean, I guess it helps concentrate the bad smells into one place where no one wants to be.
This isn't it.
No, nothing up here except more containers. Alright, let's head back. I think there's a couple other ways we could go. And even more containers to grab from.
A dwarf, but the hands. Not a carpenter's. A banker's, more likely. That's gotta be him.
This one's a she. Remember, beards are no indicator of gender amongst dwarves.
Calluses on the fingers, sawdust in the beard, clothes sticky with sap. Must be our dwarf.
Excellent. I trust you don't grow weak in the knees at the sight of blood.
Not a bit. Start the autopsy.
Where?
Let's look at his head. Hair smells like it's burnt, like he was in a fire.
Notice anything else? That his eyes have been scooped out, for instance?
Those burn marks I see in his eye sockets.
Yes, and some grey dust. Ash, it seems, very fine.
Murderer gouged out his eyes, then put burning coals in the sockets.
So it seems. Looking at the wounds, it appears our woodcarver was still alive when it happened.
Let's examine the mouth. Burns, blisters.
Just like Priscilla's.
See this? Incision made into the voice box.
Indeed, so thin as to be nearly unnoticeable.
A small, extremely sharp instrument. Scalpel.
But why? The wound is too small to bleed, and there are signs of swelling. The murderer... I believe he performed a tracheotomy, so the victim wouldn't die too soon.
Let's examine his torso.
What have we here? Deep wound on the left side of his rib cage, and a scar the length of his stomach.
Let's examine the chest wound. Yeah, heart carved out, wound cauterized.
Wait a minute, there's something else.
An egg from an amphibian. A salamander? Scorched but intact.
I attended some lectures in herpetology as a student. Afraid I don't recall any amphibians that would lay eggs in corpses. So either Professor Cochrane was deeply mistaken, or this is our murderer's doing.
Look at the scar. Wounds long and thin, an incision, but the edges are ragged.
Means nothing. Look, no swelling, no bruises. An old injury, perhaps an accident in the workplace.
Open the abdominal cavity.
Due warning, it will stink of rot.
Once fought a Zoogle up to my waist in sewage, so I doubt... Wait. Smells not rot.
Formaldehyde. A medical novelty. Heavily diluted, it's remarkable at preserving organic tissue. In stronger proportions, it's more destructive than acid.
Explains why there's no smell of decay, and why his throat's scalded. Look at his hands. These welts. Rope burns, right? He was tied up.
I'd expect so. No one could sit through such torture unless bound.
Speaking from experience.
Yes, that of a victim. Spent a year in the dungeons of Tretogor. Long story.
Some other time, maybe. See the callus? Our dwarf wore a ring, but someone took it off him. See anything interesting on his legs?
His right foot. The ankle swollen, toenails broken. He clearly kicked something very hard. Right before he kicked the bucket.
Doesn't strike me as the right time for jokes.
Apologies. We surgeons, we've a different sensibility.
And a different sense of humor. His genitals, we ought to inspect those.
I sincerely doubt they bear any relation to the matter.
We'll see. Pull down his trousers and... shit.
Syphilis, actually. Early stages. No sign of diffusion.
Think there could be a connection?
Only as the killer's potential motivation.
All right. Think I know enough.
Enlighten me, please, because I've still no notion what this is about. What the motive might have been.
It's some kind of sick ritual. You saw it. Burns in the eye sockets, cavity where the heart should be, scalding liquid, all centering on warmth, heat, fire.
A fire eternal.
It's a lead worth following. Any idea what his name was?
Fabian Meyer. And I'm Hubert Reich, the coroner. I've come to perform the autopsy, but I see you've done it for me, Joachim. As always, you interfere where you're neither needed nor wanted, drag others into trouble in the process. Who is this?
A student. Lifelong learner. Got a couple questions for you.
Very well, speak. But be quick. Reverend Nathaniel has come by for an inspection. He'll be here shortly.
You old friends?
Hubert taught me the rudiments of medicine long ago.
And not very well. You've still not mastered certain basic principles. For example, that a doctor's role is to treat the ill, not save the world.
You've not changed a bit.
A compliment?
No, a statement of fact. 30 years, and you've not changed a bit.
Woodcarver's body. Where was it found? It's important.
Plan to investigate? Exciting. He died in his workshop south of the market square, just beside the gate to Far Corners. That poor Trebiritz was attacked there. City's abuzz about it. But the woodcarver, Eustace the corpse collector, brought us the body. You should speak to him. Saw him just around the corner near... Oh, greetings, your reverence.
Who are these people? I believe I made it clear no one's to be allowed in under any circumstances.
You did, but they're friends of the deceased. Here to collect the body.
Out of the question. Show them out at once.
As your reverence wishes. Gentlemen, follow me. You shall leave via another route.
Not allowed to collect the body.
Why'd you cover for us?
I was covering my own arse. If Reverend Nathaniel had learned someone had entered the morgue, then cut open a corpse without his permission, I'd be in deep trouble. You didn't give that a thought, did you, Joachim? As ever. Well, while I don't approve of your willfulness, I also wish to see this murderer hang. So, should I learn anything new related to this case, I will let you know.
Thank you.
Nathaniel. Who is he?
A scoundrel. A rogue. Like every man who wears the robes of the eternal fire.
Most are scoundrels before they ever put on the robes.
True in his case as well. Before he donned the frock, Nathaniel was a torturer. Delighted especially in torturing women. Later, Hierarch Hemmelfart appointed him to oversee the morgue. He deals with the temple guard, supervises cremations, conducts funeral masses in the temple on the Isle, and so forth.
Dream job. Might have told me you know the coroner. We could have skipped the trip through the sewers.
I know him, thus I avoid him. I've said enough on the subject.
Don't aim to press you.
Thank you. I've nothing to hide. It's just an old wound, unhealed as yet. What will you do now?
Plenty of leads. Woodcarver's workshop, the corpse collector who found him, alley where Priscilla was attacked. Got work to do.
As do I. At the hospital. I must return there. But I shall keep my fingers crossed.
And I'll keep my eye on you.
Nathaniel is certainly jumping out as a prime suspect.
Yes, Geralt?
These murders. Got any suspects?
No, Geralt. Though all in all I should have.
What do you mean?
By virtue of my profession, I know Novigrad's underworld better than most. Dozens of mercenaries, racketeers, bandits, and hired assassins have had their turn on my operating table. Rogues, one and all. But I believe even they could not kill in this manner. So horribly cruel, yet cold, methodical, with absolute precision. Concluding this overlong explanation, I've no notion who's behind it, but I fear them like hell.
Why is the university in Oxenford closed?
Because it suits Radovid. You've not heard the story? The rector wished to grant him an honorary doctorate. The faculty disagreed. Nonetheless, Radovid arrived for the ceremony, donned a gown, collected his diploma, and when it was over, imprisoned the deans and the entire academic senate so they wouldn't raise a stink. I've been at Vilmerius Hospital ever since. But perhaps it's for the best. I'm far more adept, scalpel in hand, than I ever was behind a lectern.
Know another surgeon from Oxenford Academy. Her name's Shawnee. Know her? Red hair, cropped short, freckles.
And a hopeless idealist. Naturally, I know her. She was my assistant for a year.
Any idea where she is now?
My gut tells me she's somewhere along the front, patching up pikemen. I told her it would be futile. In the time she saved 100 lives, another 1,000 would be lost. But medics with a mission, you can't argue with them.
Farewell.
That coroner's kind of weird, too. I mean, he looks far younger than the old guy, but he taught the old guy all he knew. Maybe he's a Doppler?
Oh, Lydica!
What happened here?
Monsters must have run him down.
There's swarms in the city now.
She waved to me.
You best stay home after dark. Bar your door, bar your windows.
These bandits dropped them. Plain as that.
Bloody bandits! Can't go out in the streets no more!
At least before they didn't used to kill women.
Full of foul of the king of big.
You Eustace, the corpse collector?
Aye? How'd you know?
Fourth sense, I think it is. You bring Fabian Meyer's body to the morgue.
Fabian. Oh, yeah, I remember. No ice, no art, one of them, right? No purse neither, as I recall.
One of them? So there have been other bodies like that?
Sure have. Beggars, street urchins, and street walkers. One went so portly, I had to cut her into pieces to fit her in me wheelbarrow. Slippery sow, they called her, on account of her.
Some things are best left unsaid. What happened to the pieces?
What do you mean? Reverend Nathaniel ordered them burned. Every last one. Oh, shame that was.
Shame? Why? Actually, never mind. Another thing that's best left unsaid. You searched Fabian's body?
Well, I cast an eye in his pockets. Made sure nothing went to waste.
I call a spade a spade. You rob corpses.
And I call a prick a prick. It's none of your fucking concern. What, you tax collector? Piss off, mutant.
Talk. What did you find on him?
As you wish. Triflings, baubles, gloss-beaded ring, handful of coins, and a letter. Look, vellum, quality parchment that. I'll wipe off the writing and sell it as new.
That's human skin. Priscilla. Next victim's name. If you'd given this to the right person, she might not have been hurt.
What the fuck do I care what happens to some Priscilla? We short of wenches in this town.
Is it worth it? Today it is.
Oi, fucking hell! What was that for?
For everything.
Alright, that's the corpse collector. So, yeah, we're definitely going after a serial killer here. One who's gotten particularly bold about his methods. What do you know? Nathaniel burned the evidence.
Anyone home?
Begone, or I'll sick me hounds on you. Molly, Striga, come!
Relax. I'm here about Fabian Meyer, looking for his killer.
That's altogether different. Sit, you stupid mutts, lie down. Come on in. Slowly now, lest they bite you.
Charming as beasts go.
You daft? Even I'm scared of them. A better barking dog than an evil man at your door.
Got someone particular in mind?
Sure as shite. Bugger who did Fabian in. Soon as they'd hauled his corpse off, I run to a mate who raises fighting dogs. Bought these 2 mutts. Cost me a chunk of change. But I sleep sound at least.
So who might you be?
The Stiff's brother. Gus is the name. We ran a workshop together. Meyer and Meyer.
What'll it be now? Just Meyer?
Name it. I'll be closing it down now. As soon as I find a buyer for this shack, I'll head on to Mahakam. Be near my family, or what's left of it. So, what do you want to know? What can I tell you about Fabian?
Your brother have any enemies? Anyone dislike him? Threaten him, maybe?
'Twas Fabian who threatened this one lass. Oh, you were a good dwarf, craftsman like no other. But he were an incorrigible whoremonger as well. Whenever we put a bit of coin aside, I'd say, let's buy some tools, quality timber. No, he grabbed the purse and head out whoring. Took to following one in particular. He'd say, "'Tis all your fault, dirty bitch, human dish rag," and other obscenities. Don't rightly know what that was about. Maybe he was in love with her.
Know where I can find her, this dish rag?
City cemetery. She died a few days back, quietly in her sleep. Her pont said a fever took her.
Tell me what you know about the murder, in order, in detail.
'Twas like this. Had some work in Oxenford, and I was coming home. Saw a plume of smoke rising over the city. Thought to myself, blast it, gonna miss him burn another hag. But the smoke wasn't coming from Hierarch Square. It was coming from here. See the soot stains? That's where they burned our sculptures. Folk gathered round the blaze, and found Fabian here beside it. They'd already loaded him on the cart by the time I arrived.
Talk to your neighbors. They see anything suspicious beforehand? Hear anything?
Claimed not to. But even if they had, they'd not have helped. In Novigrad, folk give bleeding orphans in the street a wide berth so as not to stain their poor lanes. What do they care about some dwarf?
Fine, we've talked enough. Need to look around.
Be my guest. Just beware of the dogs.
Statues of the old gods. Nothing but women. Shapely ones.
Fire is a blessing and a curse. Drive off the horrors, scorch, burn, and incinerate. This guy's got a message.
Someone dragged something across the floor, or dragged it from one wall to the other, repeatedly. Bloodstains.
That's where Fabian lay when they found him.
Mind if I go inside the workshop?
I've not even peeked inside since they found Fabian. But I'll open it for you if you want.
Well, that's good news. An unadulterated crime scene.
More bloodstains, but not near enough to say he bled to death. Unless somebody got rid of the blood. Left a few stains behind. Formaldehyde. Doubt Fabian used it. Furniture got knocked over. This looks like it was kicked.
Which matches up with the foot wound.
Eyes. Humanoid. Completely rotten. Nothing interesting here.
Which is what happened to the eyes after they were removed. Alright, everything's adding up pretty consistently. And it's fair to say that whoever did this is an ardent believer in the eternal fire to the point where they want... Look.
Oi, Witcher! Coroner wants to see you. Been another victim. Told me to say the main door will be open for you. You're to come as soon as you can.
To the point where he wants to destroy belief in the other gods.
Hey, handsome.
A brazier. This time of year? I know that smell. Formaldehyde. A brazier. This time of year? Man's footprint. The murderer's maybe. Weight on his heel. Took a step back. Human. Priscilla's.
How am I to know? Watch him, see what he does.
Now what's this? Ah, dang it.
Son of a whore.
Getting cornered here.
Think you'll gut me too, huh? Up your ass, deviant! Hoes can fight back!
Calm down, I'm not gonna hurt you. What are you doing here?
Getting vengeance. Well, why are you staring? Have you not heard killers always return to the scene of their crime? Me and my brothers are waiting here to give him a warm welcome. For Priscilla. Almost did her in, the whole son.
I know. Here to look for clues and find anyone who might know something.
Fear I can't help you much. But I can tell you what I know.
Not even an apology, huh?
Priscilla wasn't the sole victim. You aware of that?
Oh, dearie. Of course I was. This didn't start yesterday. Others have died like this before. Beggars, street girls, orphans. But who'd have a drama concern about them? Human rubbish. It's what the guards call us.
Recall any names?
They didn't have proper ones. Baldy, curly, buns. That's what folk called them. No friends, no families. Their bodies were burned long ago.
You and Priscilla friends?
Friends? Nah. But she saw more than a stupid hoe in me. Treated me with respect. It mattered. I was looking to give up whoring. Pick up a decent trade. But none would take me. Not as a washerwoman, nor a servant, nor a cook. Felt like a leper, I did. But Priscilla, she was different. Agreed to put me in her play, you see. Lots of the other actors, they were afraid on account of her jesting about the eternal fire. Whistling Wendy on stage, can you imagine it? Well, dream's gone now. I'm back to working street corners.
Sorry to hear that.
You could do worse as work goes. Or so I tell myself.
Take care now. And I got a murderer to catch.
Oh, my head's ringing.
So Priscilla...
Oh, my head's ringing. Stop! That's enough!
Yeah.
Enough!
So Priscilla was making fun of the eternal fire, which would explain why she was targeted. Now, the earlier victims, human rubbish, as she put it,
You look familiar.
they seem to indicate that, like a lot of serial killers, she started with... It's probably Nathaniel. He started with people that nobody would miss, and slowly getting bolder and going after more visible targets.
Welcome, Master Witcher.
Anyway, we've got a coroner to visit, new victim to look at.
Geralt, right? I'm glad you're here. Held off on the autopsy till you arrived.
Nice of you, especially given you didn't seem pleased about my previous visit.
Because you came unannounced and in unfortunate company. I also had Reverend Nathaniel to contend with. Our spiritual caretaker has left the city on some important matter, and I know who you are, what drives you. I'm more than happy to aid your investigation.
By the way, you and Von Gratz don't exactly get along. Why is that?
I had him sent to prison. You see, Joachim led the student protests in 1242, a senseless and brutal revolt. People were dying, Witcher. Those who rejected liberty, equality, and fraternity would be found in the gutter come morning. their throats slit from ear to ear with surgical precision. Joachim had been my favorite student, but alas, I had to do something. So I reported him. Then I left the university and found work in the morgue, where none care about my past. Whereas Joachim, oh, fate's ironies. Years later, he was appointed head of the very ward I had founded.
How old's von Gratz? 50? 60?
53, I believe. Why do you ask?
You look a little young to have been his teacher.
Not surprising. For years, I've lived in the cold and dark, breathing the vapors of embalming fluids. In short, working with corpses extends one's life. Amusing, is it not?
I still say he's a Doppler. It seems more likely than self-embalming.
Who's the victim this time?
Joris Aquinas, a lecturer in theology at Oxenfurt Academy. Found this morning at his home on a catafalque made of his books.
Any titles in particular?
It seems all the tomes dealt with the eternal fire. Treatises critical of the faith's doctrines.
Yeah, mortal sin in Novigrad. Not fond of Nathaniel?
Very few people are. He's cruel and capricious. He stormed in here once, grabbed a scalpel I was sterilizing over a burner, sliced my back with it to the bone, because I had forgotten to lock the storeroom. Hard to be fond of someone like that, wouldn't you agree?
Let's start.
Gladly. The wounds conform to the killer's modus operandi. The victim was bound and forced to drink formaldehyde. Next, the killer removed the eyes, placed burning coals in the sockets, then opened the rib cage and... What's this? A parchment. Made of human skin.
A message from the murderer. The name of his next victim. Patricia Vegelbud.
Do you know her?
Yes. Even went to her estate once with... Gotta find her, now.
I knew we'd be going back to that estate at some point. Well, that's it. And yeah, all of the various little... Like, as of starting this particular quest, the ground is just sort of littered now with these little pamphlets written by a concerned citizen about how the eternal fire is awesome and everyone who says differently should be murdered in the most obscene way possible. But yeah. So, the Vegelbud matron is in danger. So let's go do something about it as quick as we can.
What do you want?
Need to talk to Patricia Vegelbud.
You think any bum off the street can...
Her life's in danger. Let me in or have her blood on your hands.
If you thought this up, and I'll let you in, I'll throw my arse out the door.
Always thought a guard was supposed to protect his charge, not his ass.
So be it. I'll take you to Lady Vegelbud. Just no trickery. Understand?
Oh, Geralt, what a pleasant surprise.
Not pleasant at all. I gotta see your mother. Her life's in danger.
In danger? Come now. I saw Mother this morning. She seemed sad, true, but in perfect health.
I'm hunting a serial killer, and I've got reason to believe your mother will be his next victim.
Why, even if it's true, our gods.
He's exceptionally cruel when he kills, tortures his victims, cuts out their hearts. So let's see how she is, just in case.
I find this all very hard to believe, but you appear to be quite serious. Please, follow me.
A fire fit for Bellatane, except it's the wrong time of year.
I mentioned Mother seemed sad. Do you remember? In fact, she's in the midst of a crisis of faith. A rather serious one. We've been to Novigrad. Mother had seen the pyres in Hierarch Square, uttered not a word on our way home. She had all the holy books, insignias, reliquaries gathered, taken outside and burnt. Then she locked herself in her room.
We need to hurry.
And so that's why she was targeted.
Ow! Hear that? Calm and quiet. All seems to be in order.
We should go in, just to be sure.
You're relentless, aren't you? Fine. But wait here, please. Mother's certainly not in the mood for guests.
Oh! He ran out the other door! Catch him!
Spread out! Murderer's still here!
Okay, that's not, it does not conform to the minimap.
There he is! Get him!
And now they just assume that the one armed man that they had let inside earlier is automatically the person who did the killing. Sadly, we cannot leave out the front door and continue to chase the murderer, and instead we are forced to deal with the Vegelbud guards. I don't want to deal with the Vegelbud guards because this is a stupid misunderstanding, and so I am trying to see if I can get enough distance away from them to end combat, but sadly that does not let me out of the estate. And of course the other reason I don't want to deal with them is that a lot of them have tower shields, which are a pain in the ass. Fine. This is gonna happen either way, huh? Man, they got a lot of health too. Don't think I'm supposed to kill them. Maybe the, it's a dead end. Like, maybe the unusual amount of health just sort of represents that Geralt is intentionally
Shut up and fight.
weakening his blows. Holding himself back. Pretty sure I can get this to end if I just deal enough damage. Try not to kill anyone. There we go. But yes, Matron Vegelbud had a crisis of faith, and so she was targeted by the insane religious guy.
Halt! For I put a bolt between your eyes!
Listen, you got the wrong guy.
Save your trickery, taking you to the heiress.
Well, killer's already escaped. Lead the way, hero.
We got him, Lady Ingrid. Wasn't easy, but...
Lower that crossbow before you hurt yourself. This man is innocent.
Forgive me. I saw him running. Thought it was the killer fleeing.
I was chasing him, and I'd have caught him if you hadn't gotten in my way.
Out of my sight, at once! Mother! Why did he do this to her? Why?
Because she blasphemed the eternal fire, only thing that ties her to the other victims. Ingrid, I know this is a hard time for you, but usually the killer leaves a note on the body, a note indicating his next victim. May I?
Very well. But you should be on your own. I do not wish to see her in this state. I do not wish to remember her like that. And let her be the last victim. Please.
Bruises, broken fingernails. She defended herself. Must be why it took him longer, and why he almost got caught. Here it is. Sweet Nettie, crippled Kate's. Growing bolder, not just the name but the place too. Won't get away this time.
Fire devours everything in its path. All sinners alike, paupers and princes, men and non-humans. Yeah, she's got nothing to say, then that's fair enough. Yeah, I knew you got into this manor at some point, but at the time I had forgotten about the context. But here it is. Honestly, I'm glad I forgot about it, otherwise I might have dropped some leading hints. This way, you get the full shock effect. Anyway, Crippled Kate's, that's one of the brothels, the bad part of town. Looks like there's a straight shot up from Portside Gate. The sun is finally starting to rise. It's been a long night.
Mercy! A witch! I made cells is all!
Wish my man was brave as you.
But I did! Surgeon took a sack of crowns for he said there were naught he could do. The cells, they helped.
Is that so? Wizardry. Let's see, dance with the witch, or I'll put you down. Another drifter in from Temeria.
You must sweat like a swine.
Why are you wandering the streets, eh? Tempting decent men to
I should do something.
Think the lady's grown tired of your company.
Lady? What lady? See her ears? She-elf. And everyone knows that elves are always doing something on the sly.
I'm not doing anything, I swear it. I must just fetch some water.
Where will you put it? Where's your jug, eh? Where's your bucket?
Leave her be.
By what right you giving me orders, eh?
Let's go, Rennie. Killing's like batting an eye for witchmen.
You can breathe. It's over.
Over? For you, perhaps. You'll go on your merry way. But I must stay here. And they will too.
Nothing I can do about that.
Then why get involved at all? You didn't scare those boars off for my sake. For your own. To feel just and noble. A knight on a swiving white steed. Or do I have it all wrong? Go, Vatgern. And remember, we neither need nor want your pity.
Every act of kindness is ultimately selfish in nature. It's for the sake of your emotional state, if nothing else. That doesn't make them any less valid, any less useful, any less helpful. I mean, this one was small and not very helpful in the larger picture, but I would still prefer a world with more kindness in it than less, no matter how minor those kindnesses might be.
Who do you think you are?
Sweet Nettie, where is she?
Upstairs. But she's with a very important client. Do not disturb them.
No, I'm gonna disturb them, alright.
Like what you see?
This life. Sometimes it's a handful.
Is that a sex joke?
Here, my
No one will hear you, bitch. Not a soul.
You, though? Whole town will hear you in a minute.
Yet again you disturb me, and I so dislike being disturbed. I was to play with sweet Nettie, render her not so sweet, but I shall see to you first.
Try it, you bastard.
We don't need any explanations. We figured it all out. Well, this guy's at least got parrying. And now he's been cut in half.
You're free now.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. If not for you. He asked if I did everything, and I said, for the right price, of course. And then he smiled. Oh, God, it gave me the shivers. And then he hit me. So hard I passed out. I was bound when I came to. And he was hitting the poker in the fire.
Calm down. He won't hurt you anymore. He won't hurt anyone.
Did he bring the little sconce with him? Just wondering how that got into the room.
Broad your thighs, stranger.
Thanks.
You a vulgar one. So,
Okay, so she's got nothing new to say.
So long. Got anything?
I'm not sure if I checked this shop recently. I can at least get rid of some junk while I'm here. Oh. That's enough. Oh yeah, and all the drinks I've gathered too. And all the alcohol. Doesn't accept weapons. Didn't expect that. Oh, wait a second.
So long.
When did I equip a blunt sword? That would certainly explain why I wasn't doing much damage earlier, if that's what I was using. But wait, that
People, help me!
means I carved a man in half with a wooden sword.
Yeah?
I will kill you. Get it from both sides.
Oh, okay. What's all this about?
Take this, burn it, hide it, whichever. Just don't get caught.
Didn't look that right.
That was a bit unexpected. Bandits in possession of magic contraband. Looks like there's 3 of them. And we've kind of encountered one of them. So, you know, maybe Dandelion can wait. Murderer's dead, so don't have to worry about things getting worse. And now we've kind of ended up in the middle of a, some sort of hidden treasure hunt. So yes, this is the Murder Mystery and Treasure Hunt episode now. Man, these guys are like on opposite ends of the city here.
The eternal fire protects us.
Ah, dang it, these guys again. Always looking for trouble. always ending up dead, and so some more people take their place, also looking for trouble. Your arms off. Alright, what else have we got here? Going into the bad part of town here. There's someone around here. Oh, no, this is just the serial killer stuff again. Maybe it's in this building here.
Miserable and hungry.
Got a few floors to it, but none of them look like they've got anything I'm looking for.
Life's wet enough in the gutter.
Well, there are a couple other buildings in this radius. That door's locked. This door's open. Alright, so nothing there.
Wild times when beggars can put letters together, foul their minds.
Fire cleanse them all.
Yeah. Saddest thing about Nathaniel is that he is not an outlier.
Ease me of doubt, of anguish, of fear.
Mages have set the hunter's house aflame.
Life's wet enough in the gutter.
Burn the city down.
Dang it, what the heck am I looking for around here? Okay,
Life's wet enough in the gutter.
Yeah, I get the point, dude. Man, it is 10 a.m. and still dark as hell thanks to all this rain. Was I in here before? Kind of feel like I was. Or in any case, it's too far away from the circle of interest. I know it was up that staircase, but what about up here, actually? Oh.
Long dead. Damn, Hunter's got here first.
Did they get any clues? Nothing in the containers. Can't look at the body again. But the quest is... Hang on.
Wonder what this is.
Aha. Behind a door with 3 locks. That's why we need all 3 of them. And it appears that the thing that needs to be opened is also in this building. So I'm gonna go have to find the 3rd thief now. Yeah, it seems like they heisted some magical equipment off of some wizard somewhere. But no one wants to buy that except, you know, by going through the proper channels of the witch hunters. And whosoever dares to refuse to do so,
From Master Hunter, sir. We're not in no one's way.
those who refuse to do so are hunted down and killed, and their property is taken and then funneled through the proper witch hunter channels. Gotta buy all that expensive chainmail somehow, I guess.
Witcher, sir! Help a woman in need!
I wish my man would.
What's the problem?
My house. Something haunts it. It howls, rattles chains, shatters plates. I fear merely being there. Will you see what sort of phantom this is? I'll spare no amount of gold.
Sounds like a white or a puffbow. Fine, I'll tend to it.
Thank you ever so much. Come with me. I will show you the way.
Alright, what's this about? Why does it smell like a trap?
Novigrad, the Holy See.
Ah, that's why.
A witch and a worthy companion. Oh, spread out!
Don't enjoy being tricked.
Tricked? I only said my house was haunted. I could not know it was hunters.
Mm-hmm. Except the hunters knew exactly who they were waiting for. Reeks of a trap to me.
Very well. Perhaps I've not been completely candid. Especially as I've no gold for the reward either. Which does not mean you shall walk away empty-handed. Here, a key to a treasure. There are 3 in all. Follow the hunters to find the other 2. I must flee now.
So was she the third thief? And she was coerced into helping them, or volunteered to help them, provided that they spare her life. That would make everything add up relatively neatly.
It takes a great... I am not...
You do you, dude.
From now on, assume.
Anyway, on the bright side, we've got all 3 keys. And we've got a signpost. That should hopefully make the trip back a little bit shorter. Not that much shorter, but a little bit shorter. And we know where the safe is. We've got everything lined up, so let's find out what the treasure is.
Show us what you're bringing in.
I trusted a woman once, long ago. I was willing to keep me right hand for her.
Well, proper with a library. Imagine that.
Hey, pretty boy. What do I do?
Alright, back in here. Upstairs, as I recall. And hey, the rain's finally stopped, too. Okay, so yeah, the secret door there. Actually, that's not too bad. Not too bad for a little side quest that I just stumbled into anyway. Yeah, it's an interesting mechanism that it only works while the torch is on fire. But anyway, we do have one more thing to do, and that is the denouement with Dandelion. As you may have noticed by the direction, we're not going to the Chameleon. Instead, we're going to a new location that we've never really been in before, aside from that one earlier cutscene. Vilmarius Hospital. Not very clean, is it? I imagine it's the best they could do.
Yes, Geralt?
Hubert told me about your past, even more vivid than I'd assumed.
I've not time for riddles, Geralt. Be straight or be gone.
Any truth to his claim that people died during the riots at the university? Died for your cause?
I was young and stupid. I thought a better future was worth any price. Even a human life or two. But those are past sins. Sins I've atoned for.
Found and killed the murderer. It was Nathaniel. Caught him red-handed at Kate's. He was just about to cut into his next victim. Innkeeper wanted to keep me out. Important customer, he said.
I thought nothing could surprise me in Novigrad. Seems I was wrong. Deeply wrong. Thank you, Geralt. Were it not for you, this would never have ceased.
Farewell. How's...
Better, right?
Yes.
Did you take care of what I asked?
Yeah. The Witcher's way.
Thank you, Geralt. From me and Priscilla.
Did my part. Your turn now. Take care of her. Good care.
I will. You'll see. Treat her better than the Dryads of Brokilon could.
She's talking again. Nice surprise.
Isn't it? Professor von Gratz told me her wounds are healing faster than a troll's. Not the most flattering comparison, but encouraging. Maybe she might even sing again someday. For now, we'll try performing as a duo. She'll play the lute, I'll sing. Dandelion and Calinetta. Got a nice ring to it, doesn't it?
Sounds great. Good luck, Dandelion. On stage and off.
Sorry, Geralt. My throat's still quiet.
Say no more. Get well soon.
Geralt?
And that's that.